Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of Monday Night Raw for June 23rd, 2025. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I very much appreciate your viewership and support. We kicked off the final Raw before Night of Champions with the Dangerous Alliance, or whatever they're called at this point. Why not just refer to them as the Dangerous Alliance? I don't know. Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Pat McAfee was not on Raw for the third week in a row. Corey Graves getting some TV time. Good for him. Rollins welcomed everyone to Monday Night Rollins. The announcers did confirm that LA Knight is out of action indefinitely. In other words, until he shows up and costs Seth Rollins a big moment, maybe the Money in the Bank cash in. We'll see. Rollins hyped up the Braun Breaker versus Penta match. He talked about how everybody in WWE, whether it's CM Punk or Roman Reigns, they're all running a race for second place. Penta then came down for his match with Braun Breaker. A very competitive match between these two. Braun Breaker did dominate early, but then Penta started to make a comeback. However, Braun threw him over the announce desk, gave him the Breakensteiner, but then Penta built up momentum. He hit the Mexican Destroyer, but Braun was able to kick out of that. And then Penta went for the springboard clothesline to Braun Breaker, a springboard crossbody, some kind of springboard move. However, Braun Breaker caught him in midair with the spear to pick up the 1-2-3 victory. The finish looked great. I thought the finish was awesome with the midair spear. Braun Breaker wins, and then after the match, Seth Rollins warned Penta to stay out of his way. Solid match. Penta looked fine in defeat. Braun Breaker picks up a big win. Solid start to the show. We had footage of Liv Morgan getting injured last week on Raw. They did say she'll be out of action for several months. Definitely a blow to WWE's creative direction. She was involved in multiple storylines. We had Adam Pearce meeting with AJ Styles. General Manager Adam Pearce was backstage with AJ Styles. Apparently, Dominic Mysterio is injured. I don't know if this is a legitimate injury or they just wanted to pull this match from the show. But it's off. It will not be happening at Night of Champions, but there will be a rain check. It will take place down the line. AJ Styles will be getting the first opportunity at the Intercontinental title once Dominic is cleared to return. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Says, is Dominic really hurt or are there other reasons? I have not heard anything about Dominic being hurt. Maybe he is. It could be that. It could be he didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, look, this whole situation with Saudi Arabia, it's scary. It looks like everything is good to go despite the situation between the United States and Iran. It also could be WWE wanted Sami Zayn on the card, and this match was always going to be pulled, and they were going to do a bait and switch. We'll see what comes out about that. I'm sure we'll know in the next day or two why Dominic's match isn't happening at Night of Champions. We had the New Day backstage posing or wanting to do an idea for a photo shoot. They presented an idea for a photo shoot to Adam Pearce, but then Pearce said that instead of a photo shoot, they are going to have a match for the tag team titles next week against J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor. I could have sworn we've already seen this match, but whatever. Judgment Day gets another tag team title match. We had a sit-down interview. Bill Goldberg speaking with Michael Cole. Straight and to the point, Goldberg was not going to let Gunther embarrass him in front of his family and adopted hometown fans in Atlanta. He thanked Gunther for making his choice for a retirement match, a logical one. Gunther is the right person. And then he said he is going to beat the F out of Gunther. They did censor it, but he said it. And then Michael Cole told the audience that Goldberg's response when asked what's going to happen if he wins the world title, Goldberg said it will be an interesting dilemma. They're teasing that Goldberg might actually pick up the win. We had Finn Balor backstage giving a pep talk to the remaining members of Judgment Day. Dominic was there, and things got a bit heated between Finn Balor and Raquel. Balor was trying to tell her to step up and be their enforcer. We then had our Queen of the Ring semifinal match, Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. Match was all right. Nothing too special. You're very basic, bigger, athletic powerhouse going up against the smaller, faster wrestler. Cat and mouse game being played. Jade had the opportunity to pose and do some push-ups, but then Roxanne regained the advantage when she drop-kicked the steel steps into Jade's leg. Jade was selling her leg during the match, but she was able to catch Roxanne, who came off the top rope with a crossbody attempt. Jade gave her the fallaway slam, but after licking Roxanne and choke slamming her, yes, she did lick her in the face, Roxanne kicked out. Roxanne was able to counter Jaded, tried to put away Jade, but was unable to do so and started to get frustrated. Jade avoided the pop rocks and then power bombed Roxanne, then finished her off with Jaded, got the 1-2-3 victory. Jade Cargill officially advances to the Queen of the Ring final against Asuka. Asuka appeared on the stage, and the two of them had a face-off to lead into this Saturday's Night of Champions pay-per-view. To me, Jade was the odds-on favorite from the beginning this tournament was announced. Not surprised at all. I think she will win, and she might even win the title from Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, and I could see the Naomi cash-in on Jade Cargill to continue their feud. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen at this point. We had a face-off. Oh, we did talk about that. The face-off between Jade and Asuka. Backstage, Lyra Valkyria wished Bayley well for Bayley's match against Becky Lynch for the women's IC title. And Bayley did say that Lyra will get the first opportunity at the title. Backstage, we had a little confrontation between Rusev and Sheamus. Sheamus talked about how Rusev is the most embarrassing member of the League of Nations. I think most of the internet would disagree with that one, if you know what I mean. And Sheamus said the time for talk is over. He told Rusev it's time to put up or shut up. And I guess we'll get that match at some point in the near future. Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, came to the ring. He cut a quick promo about Bill Goldberg. He said it's not 1999 anymore. Bill Goldberg is a 58-year-old one-trick pony that cannot lace his boots. He apologized to Goldberg's wife and son for what he's going to do at Saturday night's main event. He said his responsibility is to make sure that the legacy of Goldberg dies. This was one of the highlights of the show. Gunther was straight to the point here. I feel like Seth Rollins was rambling a bit at the beginning. I liked Gunther's promo a lot more because I feel like Gunther just went out there, said the lines that built up heat for the match. Rollins was just out there going on and on and on. I very much liked Gunther's promo, and to me, this show had a very interesting contrast in what I thought was a really good, effective promo versus a promo that dragged. We had Bayley versus Becky Lynch for the women's IC title. I thought the match was all right, but nothing too special, and it went on for a very long time. And the problem with this one is that I was expecting shenanigans from the get-go. So it's like they do this long-ass match, and I just didn't really care about it all that much. It was back and forth, competitive. Bayley was able to avoid the disarmor, but she hurt her leg and had to do a half crab submission. Becky got to the rope, of course. They traded shots, and then Bayley gave Becky the manhandle slam. Becky rolled to the outside of the ring, and then Becky sent Bayley over the announce desk and put chairs over her to try and get Bayley counted out. But Lyra showed up to help Bayley. However, when Becky went for a baseball slide to Bayley, she missed and hit Lyra instead. You know where this is going. Bayley got the upper hand, went for the top rope elbow drop, but then Lyra just ran in the ring and attacked Becky for the disqualification. I thought this was pretty lame. Obvious where they were going with it. They're setting up the triple threat. I've just seen this so many times with the DQ, the interference and everything. Blatantly obvious. It's just lazy to me. They're doing a triple threat, whatever. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Now, backstage, we had Karrion Kross once again getting a good pop, confronting Sami Zayn about Zayn's loss on SmackDown. And he said that Zayn is never going to be world champion. Zayn said, okay. Zayn then punched Kross right in the face, said he's done talking to Kross, and he said that he already talked to Adam Pearce, and their match is official. Tick-tock. And he walked off, and Karrion Kross talked to Scarlett and said, got him. They did confirm that this match will take place at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. You know Sami Zayn is going to be massively over in Saudi Arabia. Now, people are excited about Karrion Kross getting a match, but I fully suspect he is going to be doing the JOB at this show. Backstage, Chad Gable was trying to motivate Ivy Nile, and then he mocked Penta for losing. He tried to take a cheap shot at Penta, but Penta got the upper hand and did the thing where he snaps the arm, the message. Or is that Andrade's move? I've already forgotten. The arm snap, whatever it's called. We then had Raquel coming out there. She called out Rhea Ripley. Didn't take Rhea Ripley long to come out there. The two of them brawled. Rhea got the upper hand. There was a Slim Jim table that was set up, and Rhea was going to put Raquel through it with the riptide, but then Roxanne made the save, helping out Raquel, And then Raquel gave Rhea Ripley the Tejana bomb through the Slim Jim table. And then backstage, Adam Pearce made a street fight official. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel. And this match is going to take place at Night of Champions. So we officially have 6 matches now confirmed for Night of Champions this coming Saturday. Same, it was fine. I suspect we'll see Nikki Bella sooner than later to set up whatever is going to happen now at Evolution. We then had our main event of the evening, Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. Pretty much what you would expect in the babyface versus babyface match. It had good crowd heat. Crowd was split. They did the dueling chants. We had the show of respect, the handshake in the beginning. They were milking the crowd reactions. I liked it, and it was predictable, though. They were doing each other's moves. They were doing submissions. Cody was using the Kimura lock, and they even referenced Brock Lesnar, but they've done that a few times now. Jey used the sleeper that he beat Gunther with, and they were going back and forth. Jey did Randy Orton's power slam, which I thought was a nice little touch since Randy Orton is in the final. Cody had to hit multiple Cody cutters. He had 3 in this match, including 2 super cutters. Jey hit the spear, but Cody was able to kick out of the spear. He had another spear, went up top, but then Cody jumped up and caught him, did the 3rd cutter, as I mentioned, and then he hit him with the crossroads and got the 1-2-3 victory. To me, no surprise whatsoever. Cody Rhodes was always going to the finals here, I felt. After the match was over, they did the show of respect. Jey raised his hand, and that was it. Cody Rhodes goes on to face Randy Orton this coming Saturday at Night of Champions. Overall, I did think Raw was a good show. It did drag at times, and there wasn't a whole lot of storyline development. I felt there was more to build up the Goldberg versus Gunther match than the stuff at Night of Champions. They showed the same CM Punk and John Cena video package that they've been showing. I think it was mostly an average Raw, but the main event was very good, well executed. If it was predictable, it was still good. I'll be generous, give it 6 out of 10. I think other than the main event, though, it was probably a skippable Raw. As far as WWE sending wrestlers to a war zone goes, I mean, this is a day-by-day thing. Who knows what's going to happen by the end of the week? I'm not surprised. I mean, WWE is not going to cancel unless something really serious is happening or there's some kind of really significant threat to the well-being of the performers and the people in the company. It would really take a lot for them to cancel, and that's just the way it is. Remember, a wrestler died in a WWE ring and they kept the show going. That's their mentality. The show must go on. Do I think it's, from a moral standpoint, the right move? Probably not, but they're going to do what they're going to do. They're running a business, and Saudi Arabia pays them a lot of money. So that's it. That's my thoughts on Raw for this week. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Spread the word. Tell a friend about the No DQ YouTube channel. We got a busy week here on the channel. No DQ review, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. By the way, next week, Raw will be on at 6 Eastern, which I'm very happy about. And this is, of course, because they're taping SmackDown. SmackDown is on the 4th of July next week, and they're going to give the wrestlers the night off. Raw will be at 6 on Netflix. I'm cool with that. Earlier show, I'm down. They should do this more often. 6 o'clock. I love it. So that's next week. And then Saudi Arabia's SmackDown will be on Friday. And again, I'll be watching that via the VPN on Netflix. Watch that early, do the live stream. I'm hyped about that. And All In is coming up, AEW, early start time for that too. I'm very excited for these earlier shows coming up over the next month. So stay tuned to the No DQ channel. Much love to you all. Have a great week. Say yes to No DQ, and I will see you all next time.